All right, Sabres, it's Principal Starnes here. I'm here with a very important video that I need to share with all of our students and our families regarding our end of term updates. And so we know that we have 1 week, that's right, 1 week left before this semester is over. And there's a lot of important information we want to be sure that every single student and family has. So please listen carefully to these end of term updates. We will have an opportunity to walk you through what we have called our Reopen Strong Procedures. All right, our Reopen Strong Procedures, because here at South, we know that we definitely want to reopen strong.
Hi Sabre Nation. In just a few days, the first students will begin to return to campus.
When students arrive, they will be following the procedures outlined in this video.
At South, we will practice safety precautions to decrease the likelihood of spreading COVID-19.
Each morning, students will complete a short symptom screener either online on their personal device or in person when arriving at school. Students can access the daily symptom screener at the SouthMech website on their Chromebook or personal device.
Bus riders also need to complete the attestation form weekly before loading the bus.
Students will enter campus by following directional arrows and proceed to a check-in station located at your first period building entrance.
At check-in, students will show their green check mark from their symptom screener and have their temperatures checked. They will receive an armband that must be worn throughout the day to identify they have been cleared to be on campus.
Students should maintain 6 feet of social distancing as well as follow the floor decals in the cafeteria when waiting in line.
Masks should be worn at all times except when eating or drinking.
Pay special attention to occupancy signs outside of bathrooms before entering.
No drinking from water fountains. All students will receive a water bottle to be able to refill throughout the day.
Everyone should wash their hands frequently and use the hand sanitizer stations at the entrances of all buildings or hand sanitizer provided in each classroom.
In each classroom, students will sit 6 feet apart for social distancing. The desks that are not able to be used will be marked by "Please do not sit here" signs.
To ensure social distancing during lunch periods, students will have access to enjoy their lunch in several places around campus. Students can eat lunch in the F cafeteria, the newly remodeled mall area, and 2 outdoor courtyards. Students will also have the opportunity to work quietly in the media center during lunchtime.
During your first rotation back at campus, each student will receive their own personalized water bottle, 5-pack of face masks, CMS lanyard, and student ID badge holder during your advisory block.
We can't wait to see you back on campus.
Go Sabres!
All right, guys, it's Mr. Starnes. I'm so excited to have an opportunity to see every single one of you, although it's virtual. Listen, today you've had an opportunity to listen to our version of our return to school. We know that on December 14th, we will have our graduating seniors who are mid-year graduates come on campus to take your ACT Work Keys assessment, and then every single student who's enrolled in an EOC or a CTE state exam, we look forward to you coming on campus beginning December 15th. We want to thank all of our students and our staff members who participated in this video today to ensure that every single one of you have a clear understanding of the logistical process from beginning of the day all the way to the end of the day when you report on campus for our state exams and our EOC and CTE exams, in addition to when you come on campus in January once we return back to school. Listen, if you have any questions like I mentioned, please don't hesitate to contact the main office. We are open every single day from 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And if you are a brand new student, 9th grade or 10th grade, and you would like a private tour to be sure you really know exactly where you're supposed to go on campus when you come here for those state tests, please don't hesitate to contact us, and we will make a way to ensure that you have a private tour with just you and your family prior to coming on campus next week. Have an amazing day, and as always, go Sabres. And so you had an opportunity to hear that video. And in that video, we want to thank every single student and staff person that helped to put that together. But in that video, you heard what the process looks like from the beginning of the day all the way to the end of the day. That process starts this next week. That's right. So soon as you come on campus, if you have to take a state exam, that process starts for you in the morning. Then when we come back in January, that process will also be in place. So if you want to watch that video again, it's okay. It will be linked here so that you'll have an opportunity to see. The slide that you see now is our CMS calendars. And so it is important to know that our Board of Education this past Tuesday did approve remote learning for students in kindergarten through 12th grade from December 14th, which is this upcoming Monday, all the way through January the 15th. Here at the high school level, we know that starting January the 5th, we were planning on returning back to school. But because that change has happened, high school students will not return back to school on January the 5th as planned. In fact, we will continue our current bell schedule, which has first block starting at 8 o'clock through our remote learning, which ends on January the 15th. Currently, remote learning will end January the 15th, and those students who elected or opted to be in-person learners, you all will begin coming on campus based on your rotation starting January the 19th. So again, our current bell schedule that starts at 8 a.m. will continue when we come back from the holiday break through January the 15th, even though we had previously said, don't forget, first block starts at 7:15. That is no longer the case because of that new approved remote learning plan that was approved by the Board of Education. Don't forget to read that fine print though, because that fine print does say that even though the board approved remote learning for kindergarten through 12th graders, those who have to take their EOC exams or their CTE exams must still come on campus from December 14th to December 21st. And we'll talk about that in just a few. In addition to any mid-year graduate, and we want to congratulate all of our mid-year graduates who will be finishing high school here in December, but any mid-year graduate who has not completed that CPR checklist, you are expected to take place that from December 14th to December 21st as well. Our high school students, as I mentioned, January the 19th is your new in-person learning start date. And so again, you want to put that on your calendar if you are expected to be an in-person learner. January the 19th is when those rotations starts, and we will start with rotation A. Rotation A is that group of students that will start January the 19th. And so it is extremely important to know that the semester is not over yet. We have 1 week left in this fall semester one, but because we are about to end, I wanted to be sure that every single student has when assignments are due for this semester. So all of your assignments for your first block class must be turned in by this upcoming Tuesday at 12:30. Your second block class is Wednesday at 12:30. Third block is Thursday at 12:30, and fourth block is Friday at 12:30. Regardless if it is an A-Day, B-Day class or semester class, these are the last days that you can turn in an assignment, which gives our teachers an opportunity to finish their grades and be sure that we can close out this semester strong. Attendance rotations. And so we know for second semester, students will be in one of 4 rotations. You will either be an A rotation students, which means that you come to school for 1 week and then you're remote for the other 2. B rotation, which means the same thing. C rotation, which means the same thing. Or you will be rotation D, or what is called full remote academy. Our full remote academy students are those students who do not come to school at all because they have opted to be remote from now until the end of the school year. And so as a family, you will receive a call, not from me, but from the district on December 14th, January the 5th, and January the 15th, which will tell you what your rotation is. It will also let you know that you can make a change if you don't believe that that rotation is right, and that you should contact the school for us to make that change. You also will receive a mailing, a letter in the mail from the school that will have highlighted what your attendance rotation is, and It will also include your transportation information for second semester if you are a student that elected to ride a school bus for second semester. I have checked and I've done everything I humanly possibly know to do, but we have learned across our district that Power School does not give students and families an opportunity to see your rotation in Power School. So unfortunately, the only way you can know what that rotation is if you listen to that Connect 5 message, or you read that mailing that will come to your home, or you call the school main office and we can assist. One of those three ways is easy for you to know that attendance rotation. It's also important to know that meal bundles are back, and meal bundles consist of 5 breakfasts and 5 lunches. They are available for pickup here at the South Met cafeteria on either Wednesday, December 16th or Monday, December 21st. If in fact you would like to pick up a meal bundle, that takes place on those 2 days from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And again, you can come do that here at South Mac for anyone who needs a meal bundle. So now let's talk specifically about our fall EOC and CTE exams. There have been so many questions, and I want to be sure that we answer any question you have, because it is so critical to you as a family and to your student and to our school that we all participate in our EOC and CTE state exams. So first, let's be clear, the state board policy, not Mr. Starnes, not Superintendent Winston, but the state board policy requires that students who are enrolled in EOC courses must take their EOC tests within the last 5 days of the semester, and that does include our CTE EOCs or our CTE exams. It's also important to know that here at South and here at South in CMS, that window is December 14th through December the 21st. And so as a reminder, those state courses, those exams must be taken on site, meaning at school. And so here we will follow every single safety precaution and safeguards. Like seriously, we do not play about this, and we will be sure that every single safeguard is followed and every single precaution is followed. Face coverings and face masks must be worn at all times. 6 feet social distancing at all times. One-way entrances and exits at all times. Hand sanitizing stations in every single building at those one-way entrance and one-way exits for every single building. Hallways designated for up or down, or stairways designated for up or down. Washing of the hands regularly in all of our bathrooms, which are stocked with all the supplies in order for students to take care of their needs. Not to mention here at South Mech, every single testing classroom will have no more than 10 students. We want to be sure that we follow all those safety precautions and we have safeguards in place. As mentioned in that video, every single morning when our students come on campus, they have to have their temperature checked. They have to show that green check, and all of that in combination gets you that wristband that they talked about in that video. And so again, that EOC and that CTE exam, that counts 20% of your final grade, which means, yes, it is so important that you come on campus and you take that exam. The list of all the courses, we'll get to that page in a few, but again, if you are enrolled in one of those classes, you must take that exam at some point. It's important to know it counts 20%. That's why it's so important, because you do not want to have a grade that you did not earn by way of just not taking the exam. Unlike previous years, we don't have NCFEs anymore, so that last bullet on your screen, which simply says, if you are not enrolled in a EOC or CTE state course, which means if you are enrolled in a non-EOC or CTE state course, you will not have a final exam. So only students that are in our EOC and CTE courses have final exams, which count as a part of their final grade. All other classes, which are non-EOC and CTE state exams, will only be calculated based off your your quarter 1 grade and your quarter 2 grade. Don't forget that. Brand new this year, all across the state. We also know that our fall 2020 exams come with some other stuff. right? And so this year, we have across CMS made a decision that students who attempt their exam, which means you come on campus and you make an attempt, you will not receive an exam grade lower than a 50. If you do not make an attempt for whatever reason, you choose to not come on campus to take that exam during the fall testing window, then you will receive an incomplete, and you must take that exam during the makeup window, which is going to take place in the spring. That makeup window has not been published yet, but again, if you choose to take that incomplete, which means you do not attempt that fall exam, then you must take it during the fall 2020 makeup window. Not taking the exam may impact your GPA for class rank, and it could also impact eligibility for extracurricular activities, which does include athletics. So as a result, we know for sure that one of those makeup windows will include opportunities for students to make up the exam prior to the play or no play date for second semester athletic eligibility and prior to the running of second semester class rank. We know that for sure. So if you don't take that exam and you choose to elect that incomplete, yes, you will have an opportunity in the spring before those 2 dates to make up that test so that you are not in a negative situation. Also, it's important not to forget that the Board of Education here in CMS, they voted last Tuesday on December the 8th to suspend GPA requirements for all extracurricular activities for this school year and this year alone, and that does include athletics. So keep that in mind. It's also important to know, and listen to me carefully, students who have a documented medical condition, including COVID-19, and you do not have access to your exam during the test window, you may request a medical exemption. So what does that mean? That means if you have any type of documented medical condition, which could be COVID, you can request a medical exemption, which means you will not be required to take that state exam at all. And it means that that exam will not count in your overall grade. So if that's you, we want to be sure that you contact Miss Elaine Miller. Her email address is on the screen so that she can submit that to the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction for their approval. Because if in fact you fall into that situation, we want to be sure that you have an opportunity to follow your right as a student to request that medical exemption. Again, Miss Elaine Miller is the person to contact, and that only applies to those who have a documented medical condition, which could include COVID. We just have to have that documentation to submit to the state. Now let's talk about athletics for a moment. Athletics is a little funky, so we want to be sure that every single student athlete has an understanding. So in order for you to be eligible for athletics, according to the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, the minimum load academic requirement must be met during the first semester in order for you to qualify for second semester. So what that means is you must pass 3 of 4 semester classes, or you must pass 6 of 8 if you are in a hybrid schedule, meaning you have some semester classes and some 8A, B-Day classes. So Mr. Starnes, make that thing plain for me. What that means is you must have 8 checks to be eligible. So a 4x4 class is worth 2 checks, and an 8A, B-Day class is worth 1 check each. Again, you must have 8 checks to be eligible. A 4x4 class is worth 2 checks, and an 8A, B-Day class is worth 1 check each. So let's think about that incomplete mark. If in fact you get an incomplete, then you must take that into account based on athletic eligibility. Like, it is so important that you do that. On your screen, there are some examples of how you taking an incomplete could impact your athletic eligibility. And I'm not going to read them off, but again, remember 8 checks means that you are eligible, and it's so important that you get those 8 checks. Here are the classes that require a state exam. So if you are enrolled in one of these classes on the screen, it's so important that you plan to come on site to take your in-person state exam, as I mentioned previously. On your screen now is that exam schedule. We know on Monday, this upcoming Monday, that's a B day, that's a regular class day, and that's our last live class day of this semester. But on Tuesday will be here before you know it. Tuesday, we have our first block EOC and CTE state exams in person on campus. The symptom screening for students starts at 6:45, but you must be here by 7:30 because that exam is going to start at 7:45. If you are not taking a in-person on-campus EOC or CTE state exam for your first block, then of course, based on this schedule, your classes will follow a asynchronous model. Asynchronous, which means it is not live. Again, not live. Wednesday, the 16th, is second block. Thursday, the 17th, is third block. And Friday, the 18th, is fourth block. Again, follow this schedule because this is the schedule that will be intact next week. And then the very last day of the semester, Monday, December 21st, is a asynchronous day, and you will have SEL advisory lessons that day. So we've wrapped up the presentation for this evening. Please be sure that you do ask if you need support. We have a community of teachers and staff and families that will support our students and families and everyone. And so you want to be sure that you ask for support if you need it because we are in this thing together. Do give yourself a break from schoolwork this weekend. Your physical and your mental health matters the most. So please be sure that you take a break because I know you need it. Do your favorite thing over the holiday break. We know the holiday break is coming up. If that means you're sleeping, you're binge watching Netflix, you're doing some online shopping, or you are just doing absolutely nothing, whatever you do, do something that is special to you that makes you happy. And then last but not least, encourage each other to have a happy holiday season. And for those who do not come on campus next week, to take an end of course CTE or EOC state exam, we will see you in 2020. If you have questions and we did not answer those questions in this presentation, please log on this upcoming Monday at either 4:30 or 6:30 p.m. That's right, 4:30 or 6:30 p.m. And we will be sure to answer any of those questions for you. Guys, thank you so much for all that you do. Please know that we are always here and ready to support all of our students, all of our staff, because at South Meck, we are extremely excited about everything that happens here. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing evening from my heart here in my office on this Friday evening to your home. Please remember to stay safe. 3 W's: wash your hands, wear your mask, and wait 6 feet. Go Sabres.